Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are going to take a look at some more of my recent dino scores. In other words, dinosaur figures and stuff that I've picked up recently, maybe a few deals that I've made where I got something that I thought was a pretty decent price for a cool figure I didn't have, or even figures I did have. And I wanted to show you guys what they are. So the very first thing I want to show you guys is kind of a lot of dinosaurs that I bought recently and locally, and it was only $10 that I paid for the entire lot. It's not really the most amazing lot, but it was definitely worth the $10 price tag, that's for sure. However, it does have quite a few duds in it, I will say that. Kind of like this T-Rex here. I guess it's a T-Rex. He's got 2 fingers. Some sort of very old school looking Rex type figure. Definitely got the dragging tail on the ground. He's probably, as bad as it is, one of the more likable figures from the lot, because we did get quite a few pretty bad ones, but I did buy it simply for a few of the Mattel ones that were included, just to repaint pretty much. We also got this awkward looking Velociraptor, and he's got kind of a cool looking paint scheme, even though he has a bit of a glossy appearance to him, but he still definitely is a bit strange looking. The sickle claw, as far as the toe, is really long. The claw itself is pretty short. The sculpt and detail isn't really that great, but it's not that bad until you get to the face. I mean, for being a Velociraptor, it's pretty bad, but as far as what they actually included, they sculpted out the skin detail and stuff fairly well, but the figure itself is kind of hideous looking. But regardless, it was in there, so I figured I'd show you guys. We also got quite possibly the craziest looking Stegosaurus I have ever seen in my life. Again, with a very glossy appearance, almost a metallic appearance to it. I really don't know anything about these figures. I've never seen them until now. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've seen this raptor at Walmart. He's like $2, but he wasn't in this paint scheme. He had a different paint scheme on him more recently, so I have seen the raptor before. I've never seen the Stegosaurus before, and he's definitely one of the ugliest Stegosaurus figures I've ever seen. Super weird looking, definitely not even remotely a good Stegosaurus figure. There was also an equally as crazy looking Triceratops figure. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that potentially these are all probably from the same company, because they all have that same very goofy sort of an appearance. But again, I really don't know too much about them. I don't know if it says the brand name here on the bottom. Okay, this one says Toy Major Trading. Don't really know, but it is a very, very weird looking Triceratops, that is definitely for sure. We also got a super old school and very cheap plastic toy of a Dimetrodon, also not a very good figure. A lot of these I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with. Some of them, like maybe this one, if I ever get really bored and I have a rainy day and I want to repaint something, but I'm not really sure what to repaint, maybe I'll try repainting some of these really cheap looking figures to see if I can make them look fairly decent, but who knows. There was also this very, very ugly looking old school T-Rex figure that definitely is not appealing in any way. He's got some Hasbro like screw holes over here. Again, I don't know anything about this figure, don't know anything about the origins of it, but I can tell you it's not very good. And then of course, we couldn't have a few ridiculous looking dinosaurs without a ridiculous looking T-Rex, and you can see that this is definitely that. The paint application on this is just off the wall insane, and again has that sort of metallic appearance that the Velociraptor and Stegosaurus had. I don't think the Triceratops had it. A little bit, yeah, so he's got it a little bit. They're all kind of weird looking, all kind of metallic looking, but the Rex is probably the least ugly out of the group. They are definitely pretty well made. They're very solid. I don't really know anything at all about them though, other than the fact that they have absolutely ridiculous paint schemes and somewhat terrible sculpts. Now at this point you're probably like, why did you even buy this lot of dinosaurs? Well, here's one of the reasons. I got a mini Stegosaurus, a Mattel mini Stegosaurus, which we have reviewed in the past on the channel, and I definitely like repainting the minis, so we'll have some mini repaints coming soon. And a Herrerasaurus from the Mattel line. Again, we've got this reddish version of the Herrerasaurus, and I already do have this. I've already reviewed it, but simply because I rebought it means I'm gonna repaint it, and that's pretty much the entire reason I bought the lot, because there weren't any dinosaur figures included that I wanted to keep original. It was all stuff that I wanted to repaint. So we also got a Carnotaurus. So I do already have the Carnotaurus, of course. I would Imagine you guys would expect me to already have the Mattel Carnotaurus. This is actually the third Mattel Carnotaurus that I've purchased, so I'm going to repaint this one and another one at some point very, very soon. Pretty excited to repaint my favorite dinosaur as far as the Mattel figure goes. The Carnotaurus is a great figure, so I'm super excited to repaint this. There was also quite possibly one of the ugliest dinosaur figures in existence, this hideous looking beast that is this kind of walking T-Rex sort of thing. It is awful looking. You can see screw holes all over this side. If we flip it around and bring it back in, there are no screw holes on this side, but that does not take away from the ugliness. That does not help it in any way. I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing other than maybe light it on fire. I don't know. It is just terrible. However, I also did get a Thrash and Throw T-Rex, so right away you can tell just by the Thrash and Throw it was worth the price of $10 for all of these figures. Again, the Thrash and Throw retails for about 40 bucks here, so $10 for this, a Carnotaurus, a Herrerasaurus, and the mini Stegosaurus was definitely a great deal as far as I'm concerned, and I only purchased them just to repaint, so I was okay with getting all these other ugly figures included as well. And speaking of Mattel, Target recently has had a pretty good sale going on as far as Jurassic World figures, and specifically their minis are about like $250, something like that. So I thought it was a great time to try to catch up on some of these minis that I didn't purchase yet. The newer lines, the newer waves of minis pretty much only have metallic figures as far as the one exclusive new figure. The majority are just total repacks, just the same stuff we've already had before. However, they did release a metallic Dilophosaurus, then a metallic Velociraptor, now a metallic Indominus. I don't have the Dilophosaurus yet, I haven't found it, but I figured it was as good a time as any to pick up these very cool looking metallic minis as far as the Mattel figures go. So I've got two of the three, I'll just have to locate the Dilophosaurus now. Then I also bought another lot of dinosaurs that I had seen. I think I got them from eBay, and it had quite a few that I was kind of interested in, just because they are Disney's dinosaur figures, and they were ones that I don't think I have, so I picked them up just because they are very cool. I love the Disney's dinosaur film, so anything associated with that is usually something that I would definitely pick up, and you can see it did come with quite a few of these Disney's dinosaur figures. This one is really weird. It almost looks like he has human legs sticking out of a suit right there. I assume it's supposed to jump or something. I don't know if these were like McDonald's toys. I'm sure some of you guys could help me out and let me know in the comments if that's where exactly these are from. But they're still cool, they're still part of dinosaur history, so I was still pretty excited to get them. We've of course got the Brachiosaurus from the Disney's dinosaur film, which there is also another figure that I know came with McDonald's meals. As far as the Brachiosaurus goes, actually as far as all of these go, so again, I'm not positive where these figures come from, and I didn't really ever see them before, but I thought they were definitely cool enough to pick up, and I think I only paid about 13 bucks or so for the entire lot of figures, and it did actually include a few Jurassic Park figures, which I will bring in a minute. Not many, but a couple, so right away it was worth it just for the Jurassic Park figures, but these Disney's dinosaur figures were probably the majority of the reason that I bid on it and tried to win the lot. And there's also two of these Styracosaurus. I don't know what's going on with this thing up here in the top. Again, maybe you guys can tell me what exactly that's for, because I've never seen these figures prior to these, so I don't really know too much about what's going on with them. And we also got this raptor, which is really cool. Yet another figure that I had not seen previously. So lots of very cool figures. We also got this ugly Triceratops, which I kind of think was maybe, it's amazing he only has one horn there. I kind of think this might have been something that you put in water and then he grows. I don't know, but he was in there. And there's also this very weird, probably glow-in-the-dark bat, which I don't really care for. But then we got a couple of Jurassic Park figures. We got this old blue Pteranodon, which I did already have. Anytime I see anything Jurassic Park, I definitely want to pick it up, especially if it's for a cheap price. Even though I have it already, I'll still buy it again just because this one's in pretty bad shape. But it's not the worst. I mean, it's just not the best either. And then there was also one of the spitting Dilophosaurus from the old toy line, which I am very much so in love with. And I actually have a couple of these now, and I fully intend on repainting some with the original Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus paint scheme. I've never really seen anyone do it. I'm sure it's been done, but I personally haven't seen it, so I'm super excited to get to that at some point soon. And then there was this really cool looking, very large JP3 Pteranodon. I have one JP3 Pteranodon, which actually doesn't look like this type of Pteranodon at all, but I do have one already, and I really loved that one. So when I saw that there was a JP3 Pteranodon included in this lot, I really wanted to pick it up. You can see the JP3 logo is beautiful on there, and in general, it's really not in bad shape. There's a few scuffs here and there, but for the most part, it's definitely in good shape. As you can tell, the audio still works on it, the sounds still work. The head's got the very cool action feature going on there. Definitely a very cool addition to my collection that I didn't already have previously. And then, of course, we've got a Zilla figure, the Matthew Broderick Americanized Godzilla film. If you've never seen it, go watch it because I really do actually quite like it. And I was pretty excited to get a figure of this, even though he looks super anorexic, but it was still fun to get this guy. And again, for 13, 14 bucks, something like that I paid for this lot, it was definitely worth the price of admission, that's for sure. And now we are down to the last two of my recent scores. This one is a very cool Kyoto Tyrannosaurus Rex, a very large vinyl version similar to the PNSO figures. And I actually do have one of these already, and I have it in like a greenish paint scheme. This is green too, but it's a brighter green paint scheme. And I just pretty much bought this because he was only about 30 bucks, which was pretty cheap for these. They're definitely a good bit pricier than that normally. But I bought it because it's so similar in appearance to the Tyrannosaurus Rex from the film Prehysteria, if you've ever seen it. It's a very fun film that I used to watch all the time when I was a kid. And the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is named Elvis in the film, I think has a pretty similar appearance to this T-Rex specifically. Maybe not exact, but it's definitely close enough that I kind of want to repaint this guy to try to resemble the T-Rex from that film, as I do already have this. It's in a different paint scheme, so I'm kind of wanting to keep it this way because I don't have this version, but at the same time it's really kind of boring looking as far as the paint apps go, so I'm definitely very much so considering repainting this as Elvis from Prehysteria. And the final thing that I got was this, the old school exclusive with the Jurassic Park Blu-ray set. I believe that's what this is, and it's something that I definitely did not have previously. I have the other exclusive with the Jurassic World Blu-ray set that included the T-Rex fighting the Indominus, but I did not have this, and I always really wanted it. I thought it looked so cool with the Jurassic Park gates and the Rex kind of bursting through, even though it quite clearly does not look at all like the Jurassic Park T-Rex, especially considering the Jurassic Park T-Rex is brown and this one's green. But the overall appearance of this is just so super cool that I couldn't help it, even with the fact that it doesn't actually look like the film version of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I still really wanted to get a hold of it, and when I saw one pop up on eBay for like 30 bucks, I think it was, I jumped on it and bought this because it's very hard to find, and it's something that I really wanted in my collection, so I'm super excited now to have it. So that's pretty much all as of right now that I've obtained recently as far as very cool, fun little dinosaur additions to my collection. When I do get more, be sure I will make more of these videos in the very near future. But until then, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of any future videos, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.